Has Dune failed us once again? Well, we'll get into that. This is mostly a video about movies that are in parts. So if you haven't seen Dune or you don't care about Dune, that's fine. We're going to talk about Harry Potter, we're going to talk about Breaking Bad, not Breaking Bad. We're going to talk about Breaking Dawn, we're going to talk about Mockingjay, and a whole bunch of others. So let's just get into it because this topic grinds my gears a little bit, and am I the only one? So I guess movies have been made in parts over the last century. Like, it has been a long time that they've been doing this, and some of them get it, some of them don't. I would like to start with first my gripes. Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2 was really frustrating because I feel like at the end of the movie, I didn't feel like the heroes accomplished enough. I didn't feel satisfied with the hero journey being complete or anything like that. And you don't have to go by the hero's journey, but it's a pretty good standard. I felt especially tricked and swindled by Dune because for the marketing, I didn't see any posters or anything saying that it would be Part 1, Part 2, or Part 3. When I go into the movie, I expect to have like a complete package, but I'm left with half the stuff. I think being clear with your marketing, you can let people know what to expect. Set expectations early, and people are gonna go see big movies. We all like this stuff. I don't like also that I feel like I have to rewatch Part 1 before I go see Part 2, and I have to watch Part 1 and 2 before I go see Part 3. That just stacks it up to like 18 hours of content for 3-hour movies. Ooh, it's so much. Looking at you, The Hobbit, and adding extra stuff into like a story that wasn't there is a bold choice. Now that we live in a time of short series on Netflix or Amazon, you could very easily incorporate those other stories into its own narrative and be just fine. Some of the borderline parters, I would include Harry Potter, Mockingjay, Breaking Dawn, and Stephen King's It. I worry because I never crave to watch Part 1 or Part 2 specifically. It is always at the end of a marathon, and typically Part 2 takes a minute to catch you up on what happened in Part 1. You know, that time could be used for just jump into the action. So just go, jump into it, you know? I would also really like to see trimming, like a 2-parter especially could work down to about a 4-hour movie with a little intermission in the middle. I think that would make the movie theater experience much more fun, and it also gives you a break. I just like the idea of intermissions coming back because if we're talking about having the movie theater experience, I think it would just be cool to have intermissions because you can stop, talk with your friends, you can theorize about what will happen in the second half, and it's fun. I think date nights with an intermission would be way more fun because, yeah, you actually get to talk to your date. You're not just sitting in the dark eating copious amounts of popcorn and soda, and we've definitely never finished off a whole freaking bucket by ourselves, that's for sure. Also, I think if you're gonna go see a Part 2 in a movie theater, they should have a bounce back ticket where you keep your stub, turn it back in, and get a little discount on your Part 2 ticket. Finally, the good parters, Infinity War and Endgame, and Mission Impossibles. What makes these work? I think that the beginning of the show has a clear goal in mind for the heroes or the villains, and by the end of Part 1, something has accomplished to push the scale either towards the hero or towards the villain in a meaningful way. And usually it's done with a pretty strong emotional impact at the end that makes the audience go, oh shoot, we gotta resolve this. Infinity War Endgame, pretty good, you know, with that kind of stuff. Half your heroes just disappearing. I think that's what makes a good parter. Good marketing, clear expectations, making the movie theater a fun experience, giving the parents a break, and then making meaningful characters have an emotional impact at the end of Part 1 to get you to come back for Part 2 is very important. I think that's it for me. Thanks. Let me know what you think too. Bye.